Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul. And this week I'm continuing on my missing link 71 Hornet SC 360 build here. And just doing some of the final mock-up stuff and playing with this one quite a bit. And having a good old time. And since I've gotten a lot of this pre-assembled, which, I do on occasion, but I really haven't done this step this far in a very long time. But it can get kind of critical on fitting and figuring out some of this stuff here, especially before you start taking everything back apart and painting it. But since I had so much stuff to put together, I started really just fitting everything and making sure it all fits. So in my last video, I finished the engine compartment and got all of that to fit and was playing around with that. And while it's all in there, I continued on and then I decided to assemble the motor. So there's the 390 engine that comes out of the SC Rambler kit. So I left the valve covers chrome. I haven't stripped the chrome off. I got the breather. The breather's actually on the wrong side. It should be on the other side. So I got the coil and the breather, in the wrong spot, but that's okay. It's temporarily glued. I can switch them, no problem. Breather actually needs to be a little bit longer too. For some reason, this one's shorter, but I'll extend that. But these are just tiny little details that you discover when you're doing this kind of stuff. One of the things I had to do was this upper radiator hose, even though it has, the kit comes with these corrugated, what used to be the universal hoses from way back in the day, which I don't know if you even see those anymore. I used to see them hanging on the wall, but I had to cut a section out of that and get it to fit, and I glued that together permanently, but used the white temporary glue in there. Radiators glued, batteries glued. This is all temporary. Brake master cylinders in there. Went with that one because that's what was in the Rambler kit, but I may add a brake booster, I may not, haven't decided. And so the exhaust manifolds are in there, the fan, alternator, all that stuff's in there. I had to lower the engine down a little bit, but the hood fits. It clears really nicely. And then, the scoop will get put on there and glued in place. But the scoop is going to be black, of course. Well, that was good. So, that knocks some stuff apart. But that's temporarily glued, but that's okay. Oh, well, I'll continue. But you can see the engine's in place. And, everything's on there. It hangs down just a little bit, but that's okay. And I did the epoxy putty in the last video. And so that knocked the rear bumper loose, but this is all temporary. I'm going to be taking all of this apart. The exhaust, I didn't do any modifications to the exhaust. The glue just kind of temporarily let go. It is the white glue. It just comes right off. But you can see the exhaust tips are kind of long. I'll definitely shorten them up a little bit. But the kit came with the Rambler kit. Has chrome trumpets to go on the exhaust. But of course, I'm not going to have them hanging out that far. But if I trim them or use these or just leave them unpainted. So we'll do all of that. So this is coming along. So anyway, yeah, it all fits under the hood. Well, you saw I had the hood on there and then the hood scoop. So that'll get painted semi-gloss black, which is what I was saying before I decided to drop it 6 inches. But nothing really critical. So since that happened, let's we'll start taking it apart. I didn't glue the shocks in place. I got to work on the mirrors a little bit. Lots of little body work here and there. But, yeah, it's funny. Some of this is not going to let go. There we go. The drive shaft fit. There's the exhaust. There's the epoxy putty that I did in the last video, which is hardened really well. And I did sand it a little bit here to get it to come on. Yeah, there's not much holding the motor in. There's just the rear. So, yeah, that's all falling apart. But that's okay. That's what all this is designed for. So it's kind of fun to mock them up and get them this far. And, sorry, I'm just laughing at myself and trying to decide at this point, you know, do I edit this? Do I film this? Do I keep going? You know, glue it all back together and start over again. I can do any of those things. So you can see the epoxy putty hardened in those areas. And on this particular one, the valve covers aren't chrome. They should be blue along with the rest of it. And then I'll strip the chrome off the alternator, this, that, and the carburetor. The breather on these, the breather piece itself, I've seen is chrome. Oh, there's the starter. Starter fell off. So she's falling apart in my hands here. I did glue the interior tub in place just to see what would happen. It did kind of let go there, but I didn't put the windows in because those have to be fitted. Let's get this to let go. Just to see where everything was gluing and how everything was going to fit. So it fit really nicely. And then I'll be adding styrene here to space it all apart. One of the things I was kind of doing up until this point was figuring out the wheels and tires. I really want to use these AMT Goodyear pad printed tires. They're like literally the right size for this and everything. They're fitting really well. What I'm having issues with is the wheels that were provided from Missing Link. They're a bit small and they just fall right inside here. The backs are the same way. They fall inside here. These ones are white walls from Model Haas tires. And these ones fit beautifully. They can fit either one of them. They fit the backs. But these ones fit beautifully. So I'm trying to decide, am I going to go with the white line tires? Or am I going to go with the pad printed tires? I really want to do the pad printed. I also have these. These are Model Haas tires as well. These are the Goodyears. They're a bit wider, so there's the big difference right there. They're a bit wider, so you know they work a little bit better as far as that goes versus this one. This one's probably a bit more realistic for the time frame, but these work pretty nicely. But they're just a hair too big as well, so those kind of flop in there. But the ones from the SC Rambler kit, they're just a hair bigger and they fit in there a little bit bigger or nicer, but they don't quite fit into this one as well. So this one is real close. So let's get this out again. So it barely fits in there and barely touches. So I might be using this combo with this tire, and then I'll put a bead or something to make that a little bit wider so it doesn't just fall into the back. So we'll see what I do with the wheel backs. The wheel backs are easier to modify than the fronts. So these ones will work. Those work. The ones from Missing Link are nicer, a little bit more detailed and everything. But we'll see what I can come up here with a combo on that. But you know, that's one of the last steps after getting it all built. So I'm trying to figure out which set of these tires I'm going to go with. So that's why they're all sitting right here at the moment. And you know, once I get it in color and you know, get all the body work going, so all of this is going to get done finally. So this is pretty cool. Had it all together for you for a nice little video. So I'll start tossing all this stuff in here and getting to work on some more of this stuff. But you know, I got to pull these little pieces of glue off, which are just popping right off the exhaust manifold. You can see the little tab right there. I was holding it. That's okay. Everything lined up. I'll just have to figure out what I'm doing there and shorten that up. But we'll get everything all cleaned up and get all the glue off of everything and start getting this thing primed and painted and ready to go. So got some body work going on this. I'll probably do a video of that showing you guys some of that. But all the roughed in stuff, it's all done. You can pull this off. Yep. So there's that. And then here we go. There's the battery. The glue's not on the battery, so the glue's still on there. Let's see. Make sure I wash and clean all this stuff off to make sure I get all the glue off of it. And this glue is on the master, so let's get that off of there. Anyway, we'll keep going and get this thing started here. I don't have a whole lot of time this particular weekend, so not able to work on it and get it in primer as much as I would really like to get it. But, you know, that's life. You know, get the little bit of time that I do have, and we'll keep going. That's a big wad. I really wanted to make sure it held the motor good, and it did. But, oh, I put these in here too. I'll have to drill them, make them a little bit more level. So lots of stuff to work on here. But mock-up was all together and looking really good. So I'm really excited about where this is at and where it's going. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it, you guys. And you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.